Hey everybody, it's Meg from Books Off the Beaten Path, and it's Sunday afternoon. No, it's Monday, Martin Luther King Day, and I am going to go ahead and do a tag. I've got one preloaded that I can tag up for tomorrow, but I thought I would take the time and do a tag. And I also want to talk to you guys about coincidence. Yes, or as we like to call it here in Okie Dokie, coinky dinky. Are there such things as coincidences? Wait till you hear my story and then you decide. Okay, I was tagged by the wonderful Philip, A Poet Reads to Write, and this is the Bella Italia tag. I hope I said that right. I probably didn't. And my books are next to me and they're all messed up, so you're going to have to watch me go, whoa, to get them. So here we go. All roads lead to Rome, a history or a historical novel. Give me just a moment. Let me get that. A Tale of Two Cities. One of my all-time favorite Dickens is A Christmas Carol, but this is my second all-time favorite Dickens. And isn't it a great copy? God, I loved this book. I just loved it. And if you haven't read it, go out now. Well, finish watching the video and get it and read it because it's wonderful. It's all about the French Revolution. Far, far better thing I do today than I have ever done before. And it's classic and it's fast moving and you will love it. So that's my historical novel. Oh, and by the way, Twitch is on the loose. So if I have to suddenly stop or the camera flips over, you'll know what it is. It's Twitch. Okay, Wherefore Art Thou Verona? Romance books, literary fiction, ill-fated lovers. Well, for that one, we've got my all-time favorite. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do something different. We're going to do Villette. Have you guys ever read this? This was one I was not familiar with until a couple of years ago, but you talk about ill-fated lovers. Oh my gosh. So it's by Charlotte Bronte, and it roughly follows her life when she went to France to teach at a school. And there's an English doctor in it that's, is kind of mean to her, but she's kind of smitten with. And there's the spooky, ghostly nun, which was one of the reasons why I decided to read it. But it was so much more than that. It was so much more than that. And at the end, I'm not going to lie, I cried. I cried at the end when you talk about ill-fated lovers. Villette by Charlotte Bronte. Florence, Brushstrokes, and Botticelli, books about art, music, or artists. I've got a great one for that. I read this years ago. It's still one of my favorite books of all time, and it's called False Impressions. And it's the hunt for big-time art fakes. And it's about this guy and Thomas Hoving. And let me see what his credentials are. Former director of the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And he wrote a book also called Making Mummies Dance, which I would still like to get. I haven't gotten that yet. So if anybody wants to buy me that book, just go ahead. It's called Making Mummies Dance, and you would make me happy. But anyway, this is about his travels all over the world to acquire pieces from the museum and to find out where the fakes are and where the real ones are. And it is fascinating. We've got some pictures in here. And the way they tell that things are fake is just absolutely stunning. And I'm not going to tell you whether or not those are fakes or real because I don't remember. I would have to read it again. But that is my art book. False Impressions. What's next? Sicily, Myths of Mount Etna, mythology, fantasy, and sci-fi books. Well, this is the one that nobody ever believes I've read, but I actually read the whole thing. Bulfinch's Mythology. So I've also read Edith Hamilton's Mythology, but I like this one a little bit better because it was a little bit more detailed. I mean, Edith Hamilton's Mythology read better. It read more like stories, just regular stories. But this one, you got maps. Mark, look, a map. You got maps. And and I actually read the whole thing years ago. Not recently. Nope, not recently. It was in my younger days, but Bulfinch's Mythology is what I'm going with there. Okay, the Bolognese Chronicles, food-themed books. This one I'm going to do, oh crap, where is it? Hold on. I had it. I know I had it. Oh, dang it. Hold on a second. Let me go grab this. Okay, I'm back. I found it. It is called Fudging the Books. And it's a cozy mystery series. And I've read 2 or 3 of these series. It's wonderful. And it's about the Cookbook Nook. And the Cookbook Nook is the little store that she runs on this little island. And she is the cook in it, and she has a store just of cookbooks. And wouldn't that be wonderful to have a store just of cookbooks? I mean, Jeff Bezos would never let us have one because he would immediately suck it up and turn it into, you know, something monstrous and everything like that. But to have a store just of cookbooks, and then she does taste testing there, and the murder mystery is all about cookbook themes and everything like that. So it's a wonderful cozy called Fudging the Books. Okay, next one. From Sardinia with Love, thriller, adventure, spy, heist books. Well, I'm going to use the one I just finished reading called The Secret of Phantom Lake, because this was about a heist. It was about a treasure hunt heist and people wanting to, you know, steal all these jewels and everything like that. This was the one I told you about where these boys get in the car with everyone. And it's a great depiction of life for a kid in the 70s. Fantastic read. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Okay. Venice, In a Gondola with Casanova, Forbidden Love. Forbidden love, forbidden love. Jane Eyre, Jane Eyre, Jane Eyre. I love Jane Eyre. And I decided to do this one for Forbidden Love. And, you know, just fun. I just thought it was fun. And I'm going to use this. This is also my Gothic. So I'm going to use it for 2 categories, because the next category is Naples Never Sleep, mystery, Gothic, and horror novels. And so I'm going to use it for 2 categories. So it's my Gothic and it's my Forbidden Love. And I recently had a friend who is a friend of this channel who just finished reading it, and she really enjoyed it. And I tell you what, that made my day. That I was able to talk to someone who I will never meet in real life and recommend a book, and she read it and enjoyed it. Made my day, I tell you. Okay, so the next one after that is Tales of Torino la Magica, I think is how you say it. Ghosts, legends and stories, novellas, short stories, plays, and folklore. Okay, here we go. I have got 3 for these because I collect ghost stories, because I love ghost stories in all shapes and forms. I write ghost stories and I love ghost stories. So I've got Scottish ghosts. I've got most of them. I've got most ghosts of the McBride house, and I love it. It says a real haunting. Not like those other ones that are fake hauntings. It's a real one. And the McBride house, this was a really good one because this takes place in Oklahoma, and I've been by this house. I've seen this house, and this was a really good one. I really enjoyed this one. And then Glenn Williams, A Haunting Place, Bizarre, Eerie, and Mysterious Places Across and World's Most Haunted Places. And this is another one that's really good too. Let's see here. Oh, look right here. Look right here, Coinky Dinky. Medieval Village, Italia. Italy. Isn't that pretty? But then it will tell you the ghost stories that are around it and everything like that. And it was fun. There's just nothing like a good ghost story on a rainy night or a cloudy day or anything. So, now we're going to talk about the coincidence. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. So, I have been doing some really deep soul searching about my writing. My writing is good. It's not great, but it's good. And I'm proud of it. And I'm proud of how I have grown as a writer. And so recently I read you guys some of my stories and I got some good feedback. You know, I post about going to writers group, and that's such a wonderful outlet for me, post about going to writers group. And this morning when I was getting up, and I get up really freaking early, earlier than I need to, but I like to have that time, I was thinking about writing and how when I wrote my first book, it came off the pencil onto the page like I was vomiting out words. It just wouldn't stop. And I wish I could get that muse back. I could call that muse back, but I haven't had any luck with calling her back. And so I've been struggling with my writing. So the last question on the one that Philip, who is a poet, reads to write, so we got a little coincidence going there. The last question on here was musings in Milan, any genre. So I'm looking through my bookcases and look what I found. I bought this years ago and I haven't even read it. It's called The Constant Art of Being a Writer. So I think maybe the universe is trying to tell me something. I think maybe the universe is trying to say, get that pencil back out and start writing again. And I think that's what I'm going to do. In addition to my reading, I'm reading and writing and sewing and reading and writing and doing all that kind of stuff. But it's great to be on YouTube and have my little community, and I hope I get more subscribers so we can build the community, and maybe you guys are writing stuff that I don't even know about. And if you want to be writing buddies, you know who I'm talking to. You know the ones that have already reached out to me and said, oh yeah, I'm writing, like Jane, maybe Pickles, maybe Fiona. All right, well anyway, enough of my being silly. I have to take my mother to the doctor. So I will stop being silly, and I hope you guys have a fantastic Martin Luther King Day, and I will check you later.